Hey, thanks so much for clicking on this video to check out my reroot and doll customization for Bratz Dresden. I think she's from like a Passion for Fashion line, I'm not even sure. I'm really excited that you're here. I am so thankful that the process is over. Oh my god, I'm editing right now. This one is one of the harder reroots slash transformations that I've done just because it's been a few years since I've rerooted a Bratz doll and I forgot, I mean I didn't quite forget, the body never forgets how much pain and suffering is involved in the process, but that's ultimately what makes it so rewarding and so awesome when you finally complete it and see the doll finished, which she's standing right here, but you can't see it. And I also just want to put a little disclaimer, like I am not an expert, I am not a professional, I am not good at I don't want to say I'm good at it. Like she looks great, like she looks beautiful, I think she turned out great, but I am not anyone that should be giving advice or like guidance, a tutorial how to do this, just because girl, I'm winging it most of the time. I am winging everything that I'm doing in here. And I even made like a mistake or two. There's definitely one thing I have a regret about that I'm trying not to let it irritate me, and I'll point it out in the footage as you keep watching so that you know exactly at what point I was like, oh, that wasn't the move. That wasn't the move, sister. Overall, I think she turned out fine. I think despite the little mistake, I think she still looks great and I'm still really proud of her, and I am just so excited for y'all to see how she turned out. So go ahead and keep watching if you want to follow the process.
Hey, all right, voiceover time. So I'm just gonna pop in here a few times throughout the video just to explain kind of what I'm doing. So starting off, we're going to wash her in the sink because girl is dirty. First, before washing her, we're going to have to cut off all of her disgusting hair. And then we have Rhea sitting there, just bald and beautiful. I washed them at the same time, so that's why she's in the scene. Baking soda because it gets her extra clean after the hand soap wash. All right, they're done. Look at our little burrito. Now I'm gonna boil some water using this kettle. Gotta get it nice and hot because I want to pop those heads off, and I'm gonna do that by sticking them in a mug full of that hot water just to make sure that their heads get softened. Here is a very blurry shot of some of the tools that I'm gonna be using, including an e.l.f. eyeliner. And then here's another blurry shot of some Mod Podge. Just setting up my station. Here's the paint that I'm going to be using to paint her scalp, the pink and white colors to match those beautiful hair types right there. Here are some pliers that I stole from my mom's tool chest. Here are some tweezers that I found somewhere. It's guillotine time. And as you see, her head is nice and squishy and flexible. We love that. Popped it off. Here's her body. Actually, funny thing, I realized while editing this video that I accidentally put Rhea's body on Dresden's head. Whoops. Oh well, they've got like the same skin tone, so it's no big deal. Now I'm going in there with the pliers. Sorry, let me get to the important stuff. I'm trying to loosen all of those glue plugs, pulling out huge chunks of hair from the inside. This part is really satisfying, but it's really hard on my thumb, so I'm trying to get as much of the hair as I can. All right, here's what's left. She's looking a little bit like that doll from Rugrats. What's her name? Cynthia? We love Cynthia. Shout out Cynthia. Now I'm going in with the tweezers just to pull it out from the top, and this is because I could not reach any more hair plugs inside of her head using the pliers. That's all the hair that came out that I was putting in that cup. Okay, now it's time to paint her head, so I'm gonna mix the paint colors together. This is some paint that my mom gave me because she's an artist, and I think it's acrylic. I don't honestly even know. But we've got pink and white because I want a like a light pink. And then that's that Mod Podge. If you mix it with the paint, it'll keep the paint from chipping off as you're working with the head, and like if you're bending her head or whatever, it gives it like a nice like flexibility. And I'm gonna paint that half of her head pink, as you can see. And I made a oopsie, so now I got a wet Q-tip and I'm just kind of scraping it off before it dries. Here's where that e.l.f. eyeliner comes in. It makes a perfect little stand for her head. It's the perfect size of her neck hole. Now we're going in with the white, so I mixed some Mod Podge. There's a good shot of the Mod Podge. With some white acrylic paint in that little plate in front of me, and now I'm just painting the other side of her head that way, because I don't know if it was made clear in the beginning, but I'm going to do a half and half hair color with her. So one half pink, one half white. I think that's pretty obvious now, but I don't think I said it formally in the beginning. Oh, cat break! All right, back to it. Yep, here we go. Here's the plan. That's what it's gonna look like, but better. Here are the tools that I have. This is the Rerooting needle tool that I got from that Etsy shop that I've linked in the description, along with the needles. And then here's Fabri-Tac. That is what we're gonna use inside of her head once all the hair is applied, so that we can make sure it's glued into her scalp. And a cup of water. This is just regular room temperature water, not hot. All right, and I set the hair bundles inside the water like that. Oh, here's a giant hole that I needed to, you know, make a little knot of the hair. Took a strand of hair, tied a knot in it, and then I plugged the hole using that so it serves as like an anchor. And then I just carried on, you know, filling the rest of the holes. And I like to use the push pin, thumbtack, whatever that thing is, just to open up the holes a little bit before I go in there with the hair, because the needle breaks very easily. So if the hole is too small and you're trying to shove that needle head in there, it's gonna snap. I did break, I think, 5 needles on her scalp. Tried to give y'all, you know, different camera angles just to see the process a little bit better. And now going on with the white side, basically repeating the process on the other side with the white hair. And yeah, I didn't record much of that because it's just super repetitive. You already know the deal. and now I'm sticking the Fabri-Tac tip in there and I'm just squeezing as much as I can into her head. And then I'm going in with a Q-tip to try to spread it around so that it hopefully coats all of the hair plugs. Okay, and then we just gotta let her dry overnight just to make sure that it's all sealed and ready. Okay, here she is the next morning. I put a rubber band around the top of her head to try to lay her hair down flat. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put her in a plastic bag and stick her into a cup of boiled water to try to get the hair to lay flat because it wants to stand straight up after you do a reroot. I wanted to try another situation, a hot water but like a rectangle dish, and see if that helped with the creases. It didn't. As you can see, there's a crease from the rubber band, which, you know, you can't really avoid. I didn't film it, but I ended up just pouring hot water over her hair to get rid of it. Oh, here we go. All right, she had a lip chip, and I'm a very huge proponent of work smarter, not harder. So instead of trying to buy all the supplies and repaint her lips entirely, I am just gluing crystals over it because, y'all, I can't be bothered. I cannot be bothered with any more painting. I'm just gonna put crystals on it. Crystals make everything better. All right, and now it's going to be maybe the most cringy part of the video for anyone that is a hairdresser or a hairstylist or has any experience with hair. I do not, so I am giving her a haircut. It's not perfect. I'm certainly not a professional hairdresser, okay? And I think that's very clear, but I did my best, and I think, you know, for a doll, like, who cares? It'll turn out how it turns out, and that's fine. So I just did my best. Oh, there's the robot going in there. Their name is Rupert, and they assisted me throughout this process. All right, here's her haircut. It's okay. Not great, but not horrible. Next, I wanted to try something new. I wanted to put little tattoos on her, and I got these holographic nail stickers, and I just thought, wow, these would look so great with her mermaid vibe. So I have this paintbrush here, and then here is the mistake that I made, a Sculpey gloss glaze. It's like a ceramic glaze that you put on ceramic items just to give them a little bit of a shine. I read online that that's a great top coat for doll repaints just because it kind of matches the sheen of their body. But I didn't find that to be the case in my experience. I'm kind of wishing that I hadn't used that. I kind of wish I would have done more research just to get a better, you know, glossy top coat because I didn't want the stickers to like slide off or anything, so I knew I needed something to put on top, but I kind of regret using that Sculpey one. I should have done more research. Oh well, live and learn. All right, and then here's me painting on that Sculpey gloss glaze. It does dull the holographic features of the stickers, which I was really bummed about, and then it leaves like a weird residue around the skin. So I might try to go in there later with rubbing alcohol just to kind of clean up around the edges to get rid of that weirdness, but I think I'm just gonna have to accept it and live with it. Here I am watching Dance Moms compilations in the background because, of course, and then I'm just braiding all of her hair because I want to get those mermaid waves going. All right, we're gonna dunk her in a cup of hot water. I let her sit in there for maybe 20 minutes. All right, reveal, here she is. I think she turned out great. Like I said, am a little bit bummed about the stickers and the top coat that I used that kind of like dulled their shine, but ultimately I think she looks pretty darn great despite that.
All right, we made it to the end, y'all. What do you think? What do you think of her? I think she looks good. Despite the little mishaps with like the sealant or whatever that I used to kind of make sure her tattoos stay in place, I think despite that, she looks phenomenal, if I do say so myself. I really like how her hair turned out. It's exactly the type of like mermaid wave that I was going for, so I'm really, really pleased with that. I think her outfit is banging. Like, you know, honestly, if I was a doll, like this is who I would want to be. I want to be this right now. But yeah, I am just really, really happy with her. And you know, like I said, I'm not like a professional, but I do think she looks very good for my skill level, which is not the highest. Let me know in the comments below what you think of her makeover, how she turned out. Are there any things that you were interested in trying with your dolls? Have you done a reroot before? Are you planning to do a reroot? Did I scare you away with this video? Yeah, just let me know your thoughts. I'm really curious what everybody has to say. I'll just put her right there. It's been a lot of work, a long time coming, finally doing this reroot. I've had this doll for probably 4 or 5 years, and I've just been sitting on all the supplies, just kind of waiting for, you know, the motivation to strike. So here we are 5 years later. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for giving me the time of day just to see this process through. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope maybe you learned something, you learned what not to do, and you just maybe had a good time just watching the process. I really hope that, but thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to doing the next one. I was gonna pull out little Rhea's head because she is, well, she's in the process. Magic Hair Rhea reroot is coming. I would say her hair is about halfway in. I'm gonna work on her more this upcoming week, and then I'll have the video posted by probably by the end of next weekend, which will be 4th of July weekend. And if you're watching this in the future, then that video is probably already posted. So I'll go ahead and link it in the description if I remember. Look forward to seeing your thoughts and opinions in the comments. You know, let me know, give me the tea. I hope the rest of your day is kind and gentle to you. I hope the rest of your life is amazing. Where am I going with this? Sometimes I just open my mouth and just words come out. But anyway, I just hope that you're all doing amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. Okay, bye.